seminar is over. The Department of Social Work, the aided program of Madras Christian College, welcomes you to join the Jonathan Callagan Memorial Lecture Series on the topic Mental Health Practices During Post-COVID-19 Pandemic Crisis. We have with us Dr. R. Shubhashree, who is currently working in Madras School of Social Work as an assistant professor in the Department of Counseling Psychology. Much interested in psychology from early days, she studied psychology at Presidency College and completed her PhD in 2003 at Madras University. Her thesis relating to career counseling was much appreciated and highly recommended by the evaluators. She started her career as a lecturer and she has nearly 2 decades of teaching experience in psychology for students of undergrad and postgraduates. She has served as a resource person for national and international level training programs and conducted more than 120 training programs and workshops. Her core training areas are life skills, personality development, soft skills, employability skills, counseling skills, leadership training, and positive psychology interventions. She represented India as a master trainer for entrepreneurship training module among Commonwealth country trainers. Undergone training in various workshops related to psychological resources, published 20 research articles in national and international level journals. Dr. Shubhashree is certified Level 1 Hypotherapy CBT Solution Focused Therapy, Psychodrama and REBT. Her passion areas of work are applied and positive psychology. Due to from some inconveniences, we were not able to have a previous speaker, but it's a great pleasure to have Dr. Shubhashree with us. It's a pleasure to have you, ma'am. I request you to take over from here.
Good morning to one and all present here, and I request all of you to switch off the mic so that I can interact with you very well. This is indeed a pleasure to be, suddenly I pitched into this particular program because of Professor Sudarshan, and thank you so much for MCC for organizing such a program during this pandemic. It is very essential. We all know that WHO has stated that the need for mental health awareness or mental health, dealing or healthy dealing or issues related during this lockdown or pandemic or post-pandemic is very essential because this is going to be a highly challenging job for all the mental health professionals after the lockdown is over also. Next to 2 or 3 years, we are going to be really having a challenging period for issues related to mental health. And I could see that being from Madras School of Social Work from the Department of Counseling Psychology, we have been working as in helpline counselors through online, and we could receive a lot of calls from public, and we get maximum call from youngsters having a lot of anxiety, symptoms of depression, and also very fearful to go around and getting, they are very much anxiety about getting infected, and also about the future. The fear of future is there for them. So we are going to discuss about this mental health issues, and as we all know that we are going to have it. It's an emergency kind of I pitched into. So kindly bear with me for the PPT, but I have a PowerPoint for all of you about the mindset, what is required for the particular period, COVID period. So let's have, are you able to see my screen? Can anyone, the organizers, can you just, are you able to see? Hello? Am I audible? Sudarshan, are you there? Professor Sudarshan? Hello? Can anyone answer me, please? Hello? May I know that anyone can just tell me that whether are you... Yes, audible. Okay, fine. In the chat box, I could. Is that my screen is visible for you, all of you? I have shared my screen. Is it visible? Just answer, any one of you. In the chat box. Yes, thank you so much. Because I couldn't hear you guys. Yes. Fantastic. Okay, moving on to that, we all know that what is the new normal now. The term is very much prevalent now. All of you are aware of this new normal. What is that? And we all know about the current scenario. It is a greatest challenge for health, especially. The health is all about, about the COVID, the symptoms, and how this pandemic is being spread. And we have enough knowledge about how it is being spread all over and what are the precautions has to be taken and how a person at home, probably an youngster or an elderly, has to be very very careful during this period, and how it affects the immune system, and how it may be causing health issues, hazards, and how it leads to worst conditions, or how a person also get treated and recover from this also. All of you are aware about this, so the health aspects I'm not going to discuss about that. And enough of awareness has been provided through various medias, and you all are now aware of how you need to be, take care of your health by preventive measures. So I'm not going to touch upon that. And of course, the mental health scenario, which I really wanted to forecast on. Though there are a lot of threat for all of us about the health, and the primary threat is all about, what is that I'm going to do about the future. There are a lot of uncertainty. There is a lot of unusual feelings attached towards this, pandemic, and which we really don't know. If you actually ask me the question, there is no definite answer for this. We don't know about this. That is why that is called uncertainty. And the novelty of this particular issue also, it is a threatening one. We don't know how we are going to actually get equipped for this also. If you ask me, that is also not an answer from my side. But if you look into, there is a lot of possibilities for all of us, because there are a lot of calamities in life, human life, evolutionary, we have faced in life, and we have also come out of it during our due course of regular health practices, mental health practices, without even addressing it, without the WHO has pitched in. We have evolutionary in India. Traditionally, we all are very good in resilience, that we have been proven in a lot of places. When it comes to an British, when it comes to an when there is an calamities, and when the extreme problems and even this kind of epidemics affected us, we all are able to come out of it. We bounced back. So that is the one important, positive note I would like to start. And well-being, as such, we all know the WHO talks about well-being is not about absence of disease alone. It is also about the presence of sound mental health, and it is also not about just an absence of health issues. It is also about being very healthy is also important. And the very important component for all of us is about the well-being, the holistic approach, the mental health and well-being. We all must be aware of this. We have that about the physical mental health, and also about the physical health, and also about the social, emotional, and spiritual. All these components, even environment, all these components are involved in this well-being. So we, as an individual, as an mental health professionals, as an social workers, we have huge responsibility to spread over this kind of positivity among the society right now, because there are a lot of people seek help right now. through online, through social media, through anything, or even your own friends, kith and kin, or your relatives may be having such a kind of anxiousness. They may not be expressing out, but you can see, sense it out from the various other aspects of our interactions. So it is very essential for all of us as an health professionals or in helping profession. We need to be aware of this first. Our awareness is very important right now, and then how we are going to help them out of it, that is the second step. And number three is taking care of ourselves, self care, and as well as promoting our own positivity, positive health, and which is going to in turn help the other people also. So this mental health is, I'm going to approach from the positive point of view, that is from the view of positive psychology. So we all know about the very essential component of mental health, which requires a lot of understanding about what is anxiety, what are the symptoms of anxiety, what is depression, what are the symptoms of depression. All these theoretical input I am not going to talk about here now, and because we all are aware of it. But we get a lot of confusions while we are dealing with the current scenario. So we need to be very clear about, if I am in the mental health helping profession, what is that requirement I must be aware of, that I must be aware of the symptoms of all this. So be thorough with the symptoms. DSM-5, DSM, whatever you are following it, ICD or whatever you are following, be very thorough of it, and be very very competent to understand what is the symptoms they are actually going through. That is very essential point. As in health, mental health professionals, you must be aware of it. Number two, is there any first of all we need to first we have to eliminate is that any physiological issue they all have already. And you all know that people who are already suffering mental health issues, for example, those who are having mental health issues right from the beginning, the comorbid conditions may be very very high right now. So people who are already being clinically diagnosed, uh, when it comes to OCD, they are having a very terrific tough period right now, because already they are having a very tough period in their life, that having fear of getting infectious or something. And those people are going to be affected even more because of this pandemic period. And if you look into the depression, clinically depression patient, they are also vulnerable in this pandemic period. And if you look into some of the schizophrenic or even paranoid people are very much challenging for mental health professionals right now. But there is always a positive note attached to that. People who have been already in treatment, who have been into help of mental health professionals, there is a possibility for them to understand the scenario through them, because a lot of mental health professionals now connecting through online platforms and social media to help and render their services. So it's a welcoming one. Being a developing country, we are able to do that. And also from community level, I could see that a lot of volunteers are coming and helping, and especially with really hats off to the professionals who are working in hospitals and mental health care professionals, and especially social workers who are working down the line in the field and also helping in the community. I really regard them and also be very grateful in this scenario. So coming to the point that as a mental health professional, we need to be sound aware of what are the symptoms actually prevalent, what could be the kind of mental health issues we may face during this pandemic period. And also those who are being in comorbid conditions, as I mentioned, that already people who are in that kind of issues, how they are going, we are going to handle them. That is another one. And number two is a generic commitment for helping the people, those who are having a fear or an anxiety, because it is so normal. We are talking about the new normal situations, isn't it? The new normal is going to be that people are always cautious about whether I'm going to be infected. Am I going to be affected? If I have a light of cough or throat infection or even a kind of an suffocation, or a person who's having headache or person who's having fever, they are calling us and asking whether I am having COVID. Is that I am infected? So number one is I am not the doctor to tell about, but there are certain awareness we all are fundamentally we should be equipped of. So you must be aware of the symptoms of COVID also. So be thoroughly be educate yourself also in that component. And then the next step is about preparing them. Even if you have a COVID, there is a lot of opportunity for all of us to come out of it. So positively engaging them, because you all know that the negativity or pessimistic thinking really damages our immune system, because all these mind body correlation, mind body relationship, we all know as in mental health professionals. So we must give them an hope, number one. So based on this setting and foundation for today's topic of mental health, and moving on to the positive psychology approach, what can we do? So the positive psychology is all about, we all know that, instilling hope in someone and understanding the importance of being optimistic in this pandemic period. Hope is something is which is very very essential for all of us to instill among people around. The hope could be instilled, positive attitude is required, and also the lot of mindset connection is there with that. I am going to deal in detail about the mindset later on. So before that, I would like to mention about the hope is which is one of the very very positive components which could be instilled among the public or even affected people, by talking to them, listening to them empathetically, and also addressing their clarifying their issues, and also leading, psycho-educating them on certain issues which they are not aware of, and also helping them to understand how this could be eradicated through some positive steps. So we as an mental health professionals, or allied professionals, must be aware of what kind of positive strategies are required for us to help the other person also. So we as a person has to be convinced about that to convince someone else also. So I feel that it is our responsibility, and also very prime duty to help them out of this crisis. So the crisis management, you all know that what is required for that. Understanding of what is the crisis I'm going through. Is it an unique one? Now you all have a very great gift that we are not the only person suffering. It is so normal because there are hundreds and thousands and lakhs all over the world. Globally, people are suffering because of this pandemic. So it's not something unique. I'm not the only person affected because of that. This makes them to feel little comfortable, because human tendency to seek conformity. So human tendency would like to have some support, some recognition, some acknowledgement, some kind of an cling with some other group that's stating that I'm not the only person suffering. So that kind of a small component help them to lead and kind of an hope. There is a stick in their hand when they are in the water inside. So they feel that I am holding on something. I will come out of it. Such a kind of an positivity we are able to instill in them. So one is that normalizing this kind of fear and anxiety is very much possible, because all of us throughout the world we are facing this difficulty right now, and it is not just a health related issue, the threat for health. It is also, there are so many other issues related to that. People are thrown into a novel situation, being in a lockdown. We never even ever the elderly generation, at least 2 3 generation, have never experienced such a kind of lockdown in their lifetime. It is kind of an imprisonment for all of us. It's a totally a novel situation for all of us. I totally empathize with you all youngsters, because you really relate the world when you go out, have a fresh air, seeing a friend, going to college, being in touch with your own age group, chatting with them, sharing sweet nothings with them, and people who are in relationship, people who are not in relationship, really enjoy the peer group, company. I could totally understand how difficult for an youngsters not being going out, locked all the time, and not able to do what really you really enjoy, cherish doing it. So that is a kind of an kind of a challenge you all are facing. And if you look into from the other point, attending an online courses, attending everything through Zoom or something, connecting only through social media, which is actually one way you all have been enjoying when it was not actually the only option for you. You all were being connected through FB and Facebook and Instagram and other things, but there is an only option available through social media is really a threatening. So anything which has been forced on, which has been actually kind of an necessity, you have to follow this, it becomes a rules for it, it becomes an very very great challenge for all of us. So embracing it in a very positive note is a great challenge. You all have been in Instagram and Facebook on social media very actively throughout your engage. Right from the schools, people are having nowadays Facebook account and social media. But that connection is no more interesting right now because you have been in a very, very locked situation, a very rare situation right now. So that is one thing we all must be aware of. It is a novel situation throughout all lifespan. I mean to say the human lifespan, even for the children, for the youngsters, for the young adults, and also the middlehood, adult, and as well as the elderly. All of them are suffering equally, and equally everybody is experiencing such a kind of novel experience. So it is so normal. You are feeling little anxious, little suffocated, little not being in the way you really wanted to be connected to the world actually. If you look into the young small children, they really want to play, they wanted to move around, they will have lot of moves by play and lot of motor development they are involved in, but they have been restricted. And if you look into the toddlers, if you look into the people who are actually in the adolescents, then I am so finding it very difficult, not able to move as they really wanted. And if you look into the other side of the coin, the youngsters, you all who used to go for the college, used to get no, now this is an admission time. Look at the person who was actually getting entering into the college first years, and they'll have a lot of anxiety getting into one school to a college transformation. And moreover, you as a person who are inside the college are also finding it very difficult to cope right now. So these kind of challenges are there. For the elderly, it is even more challenging because they are locked and they are already feeling lonely at home. There is no much of interaction, there is no much of social interaction, and they are also not much into the social media as you all are engaged in. They are being thrown into a greater challenge if you are asking about elderly. And I could feel that there are a lot of challenges as youngsters you all are facing. And there is an emotional component involved in it. There is a something very important called a social component, because youngsters move very closely with their peers rather than with their adults at home. So it becomes very difficult to be friendly, talk with the adults all the time, seeing them all the time, getting advice from them all the time. They have been instructing you to do this, that, potentially useful, use your time, and also productively engage yourself. All that is becoming a greater challenge for you. I could totally understand that scenario. But what to do? What to do with this at this juncture? Can we have any other alternative for this? Is that this entire pandemic could be under our control? So in CBT, in cognitive behavioral therapy, we call them, is that the scenario is under your control? If the scenario is under your control, you can take in charge and you can control. If the scenario is not under your control, you have to really accept and keep going. You have to really accept the fact that we cannot make the scenario change. Only I need to adapt, I need to accept, I need to look into where is other possible way to adapt myself. So that is what the optimistic is, the one of the component of positive psychology talks about. The optimistic mindset is something you are seeking and positive attitude even amidst of all the trouble and problems you are undergoing. A person who's able to embrace optimism is not out of problems. He is having problems, but he is in spite of all that, despite of the pressure. So in solution focused brief therapy we call it, despite of all the problem, we are hoping for the best, we are looking for something positive, that is called you know something optimistic, so which we need to really focus on. And I really wanted to throw light about the mindset which we really have to focus on during this pandemic period. The mindset
Sorry, ma'am is facing some technical issues. She will be joining in another 2 minutes. Sir, you're on mute.
This is today's note, and I is it now?
Sir, ma'am just wants to finish her last
Yeah.
slide so that you can continue.
Okay.
She's having some technical issues. I
Yes.
think she's got a power cut, so she'll join another 2 minutes. Thank you, sir.
He will continue the presentations once I complete right another few minutes. Hope Suresh is with us.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Yes. 2 minutes I will complete my presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
So I was talking about the mindsets. I'm sorry that my laptop connectivity has gone because of the power cut. Again, I have joined it now. Uh, this is one of the hitches of being technically connected. Sometimes mic doesn't work. Sometimes all these are part of technology, technical error. It's fine. Back to this topic. So we were talking about the mindset with which differentiate. So how can I be optimistic? How can I be hopeful? How can I be like this? What makes me to be like this? I think Dr. Suresh will talk about a lot of components about that, and I am just going to throw a little light on the mindset what is required for you. So there are a lot of research has been done on mindset, and especially how can you set your mind with a focus of growth instead of fixed mindset. So there is a person called Carl Dweck. If you happen to see his book on mindset, as a new psychology for success, it talks about a lot of researches about how one mindset helps the person to come out of all his hurdles or obstacles, just like that as a learning experience, rather fixing a mind that I'm fixed with this, I cannot do this, kind of worrying, getting into the rumination of that is getting into the cycle of worrying. They are able to come out of this by using this mindset as an growth oriented mindset. So it is they have done great research on this background. How a growth oriented mindset person is, especially, they are ready for openness of experience. They are ready to be thrown into an even unusual situation because they feel they are prepared because they have all the resources themselves, and they are not dependent on the ground or the environment which is actually around them. They are able to adapt themselves, accept themselves quickly. Agility is very well recognized in them because they are able to quickly embrace the change and also be prepared for the change. Also they are also welcoming the change is an essential part of growth. So that is the things we really wanted to get in. When this the pandemic is all about, we all are into null situation, and it is really disheartening to see people who are moving around. People are getting really into difficult situation. If you really look them, and we all are safe, secure, we should feel happier because we are able to connect with laptop. We are having an shelter. We have so much around that. So Suresh will talk about gratitude and all that. But I really wanted to throw in a little insight about the pandemic tools. That is the mindset which we need to correct upon. The fixed mindset is all about thinking of I can do only this. I'm capable of doing only this. I have potentials only for this. I cannot do this. So such a kind of mindset is called fixed mindset. The growth oriented is I would like to learn. I would like to explore. I would like to go beyond this. I would like to see other dimension of my personality. So you would have already understood that you have been a very man or a woman of little words. The little words would have really come out of your zone and started talking to your family members right now during this lockdown period. And you would have noticed even emotionally you have not been a person with patience. Now you have been with patience for quite long. time. And you would have seen that lot of strength in you during this pandemic. You would have experienced that, whether it is about the component of emotion, or it is a component of social skills, or it is a component of interpersonal relationship building, or it is a component of anything. You would have explored an covered area in your own potential right now during this lockdown. So that is the something which I am asking you to focus on, the growth oriented mindset. I would like to really mention one of the TED talk I heard latestly, and it was fantastic. It is about an open water swimmer. She is, I think, some of you would have really be aware of that swimmer also. She is an international swimmer, and she has given a lot of laurels to India. I'm really proud about saying a woman who's from a Rajasthan and from a desert area has won the international swimming competition, and as well as made a record-breaking achievement at Antarctica. Imagine a desert to an Antarctica and fully frozen lake. She was able to swim the longest distance and the youngest champion to cross that Atlantic, ocean. Open ocean swimming itself is the greatest challenge. She has proven her name is Bhakti Sharma. You can actually see her talks in TEDx and YouTube also. I, I used to listen to a lot of people who do such a kind of. I could see that lot of openness and growth oriented mindset for her. When the mother asked, she was in swimmer in national level, district level, and national level. Her mother asked, "Is that are you would like to give a try for English channel? Open water swimming. It's an ocean. Are you ready?" You all know that swimming pool are very secured. It has a distinct depth and also and secured boundaries. A person who's going to get into that are aware of all these conditions, and they are doing that swimming practice. But she has been asked by a mother who would like to give a try. She immediately said, "Why not?" She has not asked, "I cannot do that, I am afraid of what will be the depth of it." All that she has not even thought about it. She just said that, "Why not?" So that is the kind of mindset we all require as a growth oriented mindset. And immediately she is into an English channel try, and she tried it. She also gone through a lot of trouble, and female from Rajasthan, and also had a lot of difficulties to getting a sponsorship, and national level, international level she has to try. Means it is the greatest challenge, you all know that, as a sports person. And with limited resources she tried it, and she tried it in Mumbai. She proven till India gate, and then she went to, she really wanted to explore and open for other oceans drives also, and try swimming. And she did everything, and her aim is to crack the Atlantic Ocean thing. She did that also. The conditions was not very conducive for her. We all have an defensive kind of thing. I cannot, my conditions, I am brought up in a very conducive atmosphere. I cannot explore this. I don't know how I am suitable for that. I don't know I can have such a kind of resource in me. I don't know I am that great physical health. All that we say all the time. If you look into, she said that, I will try on my best. So what she has, the lake is frozen, and it is in minus no, the entire ocean, I'm sorry, it's not lake, ocean is an frozen one, minus degree it is. So she has to create such a kind of ambience. So she has actually created an artificial pool in her own terrace, and put 20 tons of ice cubes inside. And morning, early morning, she used to actually practice. It is into a minus degree, and she used to practice in that lake. And it is a real challenge. After that, 3 hours she'll have a shivering, for warmth, and also an warm kind of body will seek such kind of thing. And she has conditioning her own body by doing it. And she also had an help of other people, little bigger swimming pool, and she also tried that, and she was able to do that. After practicing, she has been to an Atlantic Ocean, and she also finished. And she has also made an Indian people to feel proud that I could crack it. and she is very humble, and she is also very, very, grounded when she's talking about this. You just have to watch this. It says about have a very positive outlook and also having preparedness. She has prepared very well her practices. Every day she was prepared for it. She was not actually shrunk for what is that I'm going to do. She was prepared. And also she is flexible. She never knew that what kind of current will be there in that Atlantic Ocean, what kind of other unknown enemies like maybe a shark, or it may be something else also. She may not know all this. And then also she was only depending on her own resource, not anything else, because she was having all the hinges of not getting sponsorship, not having a conducive atmosphere, not financially sound. All that was there, but she broke all these barriers, and she was so protective. She was not defensive. She was not playing a blame game for herself. She was not finding an excuse for herself. She really want to explore what is that possible. And she felt though something called an abundance versus scarcity. Abundance. I have everything. I have enough resources. I have enough to give someone. I see. If you need not give money during this pandemic, if you talk to someone, if you're able to help someone, if you're able to listen to someone talking, that itself is the greatest help you can do for someone who is a needy. So this really helps you to fill your positive cup. So you cannot pour from an empty cup. You all know the saying. You can fill in this positivity by doing a lot of positive things. So if you are held with an openness, you will definitely get it. It is not something you are expecting out of this, but if you are refilling your cup, you will start pouring it with a positive. So, with this note of positive thing, I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Suresh Kumar. I pitched in because Suresh was a little delayed because of some emergency purpose. I really would like to thank the opportunity given, though it is an emergency thing. I would like to pitch in, and I would like to say this. This is something growth mindset. You are able to create opportunity, embrace opportunity, help other person, even at any crisis. That is what you really wanted to practice during this pandemic period. Thank you for the opportunity. I thank Dr. I thank Professor Sudarshan for his recognition, and also Dr. Suresh Kumar to pitch me inside this program. Thank you, MCC.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request ma'am to stay back so that she can answer any questions that the participants have. We have with us Dr. Suresh Kumar, who is an assistant professor at the Department of Psychology of the American College, Madurai, and the director of the Red Pond Educational and Psychological Research Center at Madurai. He is also an adjunct faculty at the School of Education and Behavioral Sciences at Texila American University since 2017. He is certified from Johns Hopkins University, Harvard, WHO, NIMHANS, etc. He finished his bachelor's in psychology and master's in education at Cambridge University and his master's in psychology and guidance counseling at Annamalai University. He also has a master's in counseling and psychotherapy from Tamil Nadu Open University. He received his PhD from Annamalai University in 2010. He has published 27 papers in journals, 3 books, and nearly 50 seminar and conference proceedings. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. I request you to take over.
When I was preparing my schedule, am I audible? Am I audible? No? Yes. I record my sincere thanks to MCC for giving a great opportunity for me to share my knowledge and experiences and learning on mental health. So I seek my apologies to the panel members and over here. Actually, when I was taking this schedule, instead of today, I put it tomorrow. So that's why I'm not able to came in the right time. I think that is the reason Dr. Subbanam is here. I think there is no difference between me and her. So whatever the things I'm speaking, I think she's having the same mindset. So we are having same wavelength also. Now I'm going into my presentation. I hope I will take another 30 minutes. I feel that at the end of the session, you feel that, okay, it is worthwhile for you. I assume in that assumption, I'm going to take my presentation. Yes. There are a few slides about the pandemic. I think you all know that as a teacher as well as a student, you are aware about it. What is the pandemic, COVID-19? So I'm not going to look into that. Just I'm going to give a few slides about that. And now we can competing with other countries. So we are going to reach the first place. And now we are in the 5th place. And you can see in Tamil Nadu, I think we are ranking along with Maharashtra. We are leading in that pandemic crisis. And what you can see in this picture, when you look at this picture, you can say that 1 rupee coin. I think everyone will say that. What about the next other side of the coin? Yes, most of us, we are looking only the health component, but we are not concentrating on that mental health component, which is not visible to us. So my focus is about that, why we have to give importance to mental health and what are the strategies which are more effective. And most of the thing, when I say that these practices are most effective method for improving our mental health, many of you may not believe it. But the studies prove that these techniques are most effective method. And here you can see the value. What is the thing we are giving importance to health? Because we give much value to the health components, but without validity, there is nothing value. There is no symbol in that coin. You can this coin not value. It has no value at all. So we have to give much importance to equal importance to mental health also. So here there is one definition. I think in MCC, I think all very well know about these things. But anyhow, I will add a few more points about what is health and mental health. Health is most of us believe that absence of illness. But what WHO is saying that it is a complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Physical well-being means there is no illness in our body, and one more component in our mental health. The next slide, I'm going to say that there are 4 important things are there: our cognition, our emotion, and our behavior, as well as our social interactions. These 4 will decide us whether we are mentally good or not. And another one is in socially interactive and how we are protective in nature. So in these 4 are important components in mental health. So health means we have to concentrate on wellness in these components also. And I'm going to see here the mental health components. In cognitive, if you have clarity in your thought, if you are able to solve your problem in day-to-day life, you can able to make a decisions in your life. So that you can claim that your cognitive component is good. And emotional, I think you feel you can able to manage your stress, you can able to manage your anger, and you can able to express your positive emotions in a better way. That shows that your mental health is good. And another one is there are some learned people, they may express appropriate behavior, some they may not show that appropriate behaviors. So we have to understand that a person who shows appropriate behavior, it is because of their mental health. Okay. And another one is social well-being. And if I'm okay, you are okay. So if some of my family members are not doing good, then it will directly affect me. So these also responsible and environment. And I can say that some of the people, they may not be very comfortable in particular environment. Only they are comfortable in their workplace, in a particular place. So these things are determined their mental health. So these are the components we have to concentrate on improve our mental health. If there is any problem in one of these components, you can assure that you can understand that there is a problem in your mental health. In your mental health. Why mental health is important? And I think you all know that there are many international organizations. One is UNICEF, another one is WHO. So these 2 organizations, they came up with one research finding that mental health is another second pandemic in the world. See, these corona crisis will lead mental health problem, which is a silent killer in most of the families. So we have to address these things. They given the report when you go into that website, and instead of for health component, they are giving much impact to mental health components, and they given the guidelines for how we can be better mental health. They given a lot of strategies also. And when come to Indian component, there are 2 organizations they are having a very good initiative to promote mental health. NIDM, I think you all know that, National Institute of Disaster Management. National Institute of Disaster Management and Ministry of Women and Child Development. These two organizations, they given that funding for finding out better mental health strategies for Indian context. And not only with that, they come up with that some of the manuals, how they can be preventive, what are the strategies they can take for better mental health. And in addition to that, there are two nodal agencies. One is on NIMANS, National Institute of Mental Health, that is there in Bangalore. They are also circulating every week. I think when you go into that Friday or Saturday, every week they are giving the guidelines for elderly people, young people, and children, how we can improve their mental health. They given the very good guidelines, and they given the chart also, infographic diagrams also. So as a learned people, we can go there and then we can use it. And we can spread these information to other members, because in social work, I think I love the social work. The reason is the only field which is working closely with the local people. And other we can say, I can say, if it is in psychology, they will be bystander, they will be there, and then when they come only, they will help. But social workers, they will go into the field and then they will help other people. That is an amazing thing, quality. And you can take these information and spread awareness among the people. Now I'm getting into that. I will add one more slide about the impact of COVID-19, as you all know very well about these things. So I'm not going to add much about these things. The health components, as you know that in Chennai and in India, we are not having adequate facilities. Adequate facilities like bed and protective measures for doctors. And you can see that there are a lot of problems, whether these corona will end or whether it will be second wave will come or third wave will come. They are having fear about it. We are not able to make a decision. So these things are ruining our day-to-day life decision making. And when you look into the emotional components, yes, even the health professionals, they are very good, well-educated people. They are not able to manage their emotions. Think about the normal people. We are also having a lot of problems. We have to take care of those components. And behavior, it affects mostly children. When you are not able to nurture the behavior of the children in the young age, it will lead a severe problem in the later stages. And the loneliness, we are not allowing them to co-touch here and there. They are not allowing them to play anywhere else, which leads them lot of behavior problems. And we have to address immediately these things. And socially, I think you all very well know that migration problem and then the poor socioeconomic status people are struggling to live their life. This is the impact of COVID-19. And the main presentation is about mine is on positive mental health practices. So what are the way we can improve our mental health? When you look into these things, I think many of the you may be aware about it. I think I would like to thank Dr. Subhasri for giving some presentation about positive mindset. Yesterday we had the same presentation to one of the colleges. So that is one of the components. Before that, gratitude has a more value than any kind of positive mental health practices. I will give you. There are two persons there. We can claim that they are pioneer in positive psychology. One is Martin Seligman, and another one is Barbara Fredrickson. So these two were pioneer. And when she was, I think, before Martin Seligman, there is one researcher called Barbara. What she has done, she has a research experience of 20 years of research experience. In her experience, she collected almost all the positive emotions. She found out. And when she was collecting the impact of all the positive emotions on the people's mental health, and she given the first rating to the gratitude. You all know that gratitude is expressing your thanks to somebody who helped you. And we will see that. And resilience, yes, coming back to the normal. There are some people having that stamina to come back to the normal. Some may not have much knowledge about it. And optimism. And optimism, there are many pessimistic people are around you. Unless if you are optimistic, and you cannot survive in this mindset. And we are during this crisis period, and you must have that positive mindset. And forgiveness. And some of you may think that what if this forgiveness will make an impact on our mental health. When you look into the research findings, and it will be amazing. See, when you forgive somebody else, it will not, you are not forgiving that person is not having any impact on that person. It has an impact. It heals your hurt, it heals your problem. So we have to understand these things and we have to practice. I'm going to give some of the strategies for you. And mindfulness is, everyone will agree with that. Concentrate on only one component. For example, now I'm not able to concentrate because my son is there playing here and there when I'm giving the instruction go on down and they're not doing it. So, so the mindfulness doing one work at a time, one work at a time. And finally, the kindness practices. Kindness, again, it is an altruistic behavior is already imbibed in the social work students. It is one of the quality I can say you have to develop. If you are not having the kindness, and then you cannot climb the ladder as a social worker or social science students. So these were the practices you can practice, and I will tell you that what is these things and what is the positive impact on human being health as well as mental health, and how we can practice. Okay, and here gratitude, as I said, expressing our thanks to somebody who helped, very important. And when you take into that the definitions, can be just go. And when you take into that, there are Robert Emmons. He defined the term gratitude in two components. One is recognizing good qualities in our ourselves and in our day-to-day life. That is one thing. And second part is acknowledging the good qualities and good components in other persons. Appreciating others. For example, someone who taking and helping you and say that thank you for your help. So these two things are called gratitude. Finding, the first component is finding good components in yourself. And second one is acknowledging and appreciating others' good qualities. Okay. And here, what is the benefit of these gratitude? One study proved that when you practice gratitude, it will increase your happiness by 25%. Not only that, it increases your health, it improves your health, and the person who are helpful are having very good sleep, better sleep in their life. And you can see that a person who practices gratitude, they are very well connected with the society. They are socially very interactive. They are having very good connections with the social members. And grateful people are more resilient in stress. For example, now we are in a pandemic crisis. If you are more grateful for whoever helped you, and you will have the skill of resilience, and you can able to manage your day-to-day handshake and day-to-day stress. And one more thing, if you work in your home or for work from home, and your productivity will be more. As a student, your learning will be increased by 50%. When you thank your teacher, sir, I'm not having clarity about the particular topic. When you given the inputs on the topic after your lesson, after your session, I found that it is easy for me to learn. When you express this gratitude, and they found that there's an increase in their learning. So these things we have to understand. I think you know that the positive impact of gratitude, and I'm going to add a few more points about it. It improves the physical health. How? And we may say that we feel more comfort when we say thank you, that positive energy will be there. As Madam said, the positive mindset, positive energy will be there. We directly, there is one study is called aura, positive aura. So when it will not allow the negative components inside, so you feel more better mental health, and it improves our sleep. When you go to any person, psychologist or psychiatrist, and you say that I'm not able to concentrate, or I'm more aggressive, I'm not able to manage my stress. The first question from that psychiatrist or psychologist will be, are you sleeping 8 hours, or are you sleeping properly? That is the first question. Why? Why they're asking? I will tell you, there is a hormone called melatonin, not melanin. Melanin is called pigment. It will determine my color. But melatonin is a hormone that will secreted during your sleep. It will secrete only in complete darkness. In that early morning it will secrete. And most of the youngsters nowadays, I can say, the smartphone are there. With their smartphone, they are not having the enough sleep in that moment. So what it will make them, they are not spending quality time for sleeping, and the melatonin secretion is decreased. And you can see that, and you can see that there is a tiredness when they wake up from the bed. When they come out from the bed, they feel more tired and they may not concentrate on that. It is because there is a decreased amount of melatonin in their brain. So you have to, when you express the gratitude, that secretion of these melatonin will be increasing. And you can see that improves that psychological health. Psychology, as I said, your cognition, your affection, and your behavior, psychomotor, and the surrounding people. These things will be improved when you practice gratitude. I will put on. And it increases empathy. I think my son is there, he is asking me. And increases empathy. Empathy means, for example, if I take, I think most of you may understand Tamil. Now, puliyampalam sapta, I think you know that, puliyampalam, puli. If I take that tamarind, you feel that secretion of saliva in your mouth. So that is called empathy. When the client, a person who is expressing their feeling to you, you have to understand from their perspective. So it is very important. And another one is it decreases our angerness. It decreases their angerness, and they are more social connections. They are more social connections. And it engages their self-esteem. And we can say that there are many people, they are having poor self-esteem. They are having low self-esteem. Due to that, they may not interact with anybody else, and it will affect their mental health component. I will tell you. You know that person called Adler. Please. Adler is a person who said that inferiority complex and low self-esteem is caused part of your personality problems. So when you express your gratitude, they will positively affirm you. Okay, thank you so much. And when you say that, very good. No mention in these positive interactions will boost the self-esteem. Their interactions will be more, and the mental stamina, the positive mindset will be there. Very good when you express your gratitude. These were the benefits of gratitude, and I'm going to tell you that gratitude practices. What are the way we can practice gratitude? I think when I ask you, I say you can say openly, thank you for listening. I can say. So what are the other way? One is gratitude journal. Those are having a habit of writing a diary. So you can do that. Or else you can do one thing, you can make a, there are, for example, gratitude journal is available in market. You can buy that, you can write it, and you can give it to the person and send it. Actually, I make this program into practical work. Now what you can do, find out a person you missed to thank them. Find out the person you missed to thank them. What you can do, just inform them and say the reason. See, during 2 months back, you helped me. I would like to say that and listen what they are saying. And that when they reciprocate, you feel more comfortable, you feel more happy. That's why I said when you express gratitude to somebody else, your happiness will increase. So we can practice that gratitude journal. And next one is write a thank note. And if somebody is helping you, and if you're in a workplace and you're a student and having some poor interactions, you are not extrovert, you feel that you can just say thank you and put it in their table or in their workplace. If you do that, it will be reach them and they feel more happy. And you can see that the beauty of nature and surrounding you. And many people, we are complaining about, I'm not having this facility, I'm not having those facilities. See, if you do that, you are not expressing your gratitude to what you have right now. First, you say thank you to what you have right now. And say, I thank for what I'm having right now. This is an important thing. You have to cultivate in yourself. If you don't cultivate within you, and it will be definitely, you feel that a pessimistic attitude in your mindset, it will ruin your life. And you have to watch when you are alone, and that inner voice, you have to listen to your inner voice. It will speak to you. It will give us a positive and negative. And listen, if it is a positive, then you have to concentrate. If it is a negative, then you have to alter your. First, you have to express the gratitude. I think in the blackboard, if there is a white dot, and we will say that focus only on the white dot. We are not having that 99.99% the blackboard is clean. We concentrate only that dot. The negative component only we are concentrating. First, when you say somebody, when you interact with somebody else, first you say positive affirmation about what they are and the good qualities of the person. Then you have to go to the negative component. That's the way you can say. And another one is find out, you say, just go approach them and then express your gratitude to them. Very important. Thank you for them. There are many healthcare professionals are struggling a lot So your single word will make them impact. There are studies prove that in healthcare system, whoever, for example, I'm going to hospital, I'm paying money. Even though if I express gratitude, for example, good morning, thank you for treating me. If you express only these two words, they found that 30% of recovery from their illness. It has a huge impact. And another one is, what are the other practices you can do for gratitude? Gratitude jar. You may have that in your classroom or in your teachers. You may have found some of the good qualities. Okay, whenever you found some good quality, write in a paper, big paper, and then put it in a jar. It may be a plastic bottle. 10 rupees you can get it in the market. And just put it over, ask your all other classmates and put it, and when you give that gratitude chart to your teacher, he will be so happy, and then and you see that behavior of his the next class is totally different, totally different. So these things you can practice. I'm giving the one example for teachers. You can do it for your classmates. You can do it for your family members. It's an amazing practice. You can do that. And another one is gratitude rock. I think there are youths are very good in that. They are free time. They will take a table next to them, and then they will make a coloring, and then they will do a writing, and then they will make it a precious one in their showcase. So you can, after 10 years or 15 years, they will say that, do you know who gave this? You know, my friend, when I was doing my undergraduate, my postgraduate, my MCC, they gave me. Now I'm using it. So this is a precious one, and it has some positive vibes in later stages. And gratitude tree. So this one also you can practice. One is putting a wall and then write it. Thank you for these things. Thank you for that, what you have done to me. So when you write these things in a bit of paper as a leaf and place it, and then when you make as a whole tree, will go pressure tree. Amazing experience you'll feel about it. And gratitude prompts. Yes, I'm grateful for 3 things I hear. I'm grateful for 3 things I see. You can do these things right now. I in the chat box also you can type any one of the prompt. You can type it in the chat box. I will come there now. And one more thing, gratitude flower. Gratitude flower, you can decorate yourself as a aesthetic sense. If there, you can do that wonderful components. And another one is you can write a gratitude letter or mail. Okay. Okay. Yes. Gratitude mail or gratitude letter to your family members. Or anybody else, you forgot to thank them for that help rendered for you. Just find out, remember them, and write a letter. And I will give one study here. One of the classical study, which was done by a positive psychologist. What I have done, I think in Christianity, there is a practice called when you become a nun. When you become a nun, a sister, you have to undergo rigorous training in a place, okay, for 4 years or 5 years. So during that practices, every year they ask them how you feel in a day. So how you feel in a week. So they have to record in that diary. So they given that instruction. You need not show that record to the supervisors. Only have to write how you feel today in a day in these practice. After 4 years, I think the nuns around 120 members were written, and it was preserved, and they forgot. And one of the person after 30 years, they stored information somewhere else. Okay, and whoever written positive in that note, whoever written positive in that note, they found that they are more happy, and those are working under them, they express that I'm very happy with that system, because those were practiced at rigorous training as a system, and now they become administrator for them. And they met and they interviewed them. They expressed that I'm very happy with that administration, the leader. And others, those who written negative experience during that period, and they said that most of them were not alive. And those who were alive, and when they were interacting with their subordinates and youngsters, they told that they are, I think they are in a hell. They are ruining them. They are hurting them. They are using venom. They are spitting venom in their words. So when you see that, when you can able to understand that the connection between when you express positive words in your gratitude When you practice negative words in your day-to-day life, it will directly proportionate to your future also, in your health components also. So we have to understand that and try, even if you have not practiced gratitude as of now, practice now, practice now, and spread these habits to your family members and your friends. It will have some, definitely it is a very good impact on a person. And I think I'm going to the second component. I hope I'm having the time. Dear moderator and coordinators, if I'm beyond the time, please stop me. Um, and the positivity. Here, when you look into that, what is positive attitude? There are many definitions are there. You can take anyone. They're willing to try to do something new. They will say that, yes, I can do. The positive thinking. These are the I can. So these are the word you can say. I don't want to go too much about it because I'm given that. What is the benefit of positivity? It builds confidence within us. When you say that I'm a positive, you feel more confident, happier life. And as I said in the beginning, when you watch your inner voice, when you use more positive words and then you are more successful. You are more hearing more negative words and then you are not take any initiative and then you feel down. Your self-esteem will be very low. And if you are having positivity, it is easier for when you take the person's success rate, they are more successful than anybody else. And how we can develop positive attitude? There are 8 tips. Just remove it and honor yourself, appreciate yourself. The qualities I'm having, just honor yourself and practice gratitude. See, there is a directly proportionate. As I said, most of the positive emotions and mental health practices are directly or indirectly connected to one another. It is like a chain. It's like a chain. If you connect one and it will go to another. And use affirmations. When you say your fellow classmates, you are looking very cute. Your dress is amazing. Yeah? See, today your presentation is very good. When you the positive affirmations you have to use, nothing you are going to lose it. You are not going to lose your share market. When you say positive words, you are not going to lose anything. But the word has a more impact on the words. When you see the relationship problem, anybody, even with your friends or the husband and wife, they will say that he is not using you, he is not praising me. And one more thing, what you can do positively, hobbies. Many people, many of us, we are not having the hobbies, and if you have not done that, you have to develop at least 1 or 2 hobbies. I can say that one thing I can say that, see, this time I'm having. And another one is have a fun activities, play a music and then dance with it, and watch Vadivel or music, Vadivel comedy. If not, if you don't know how to dance, I will give a tips to you. There are 2 actors in Tamil Nadu. One is Rajinikanth. We don't know how to do exercise and then dance. Just play the songs and then it is very easy for you to dance. And then you can see this is the way you can dance. And you feel that Rajinikanth is on very speed, you cannot be able to follow. There is one more actor in Tamil Nadu called Pakiraj. And even if anyone came that learning, you have to start from Pakiraj. See, this is the way the dance will be there. So this is the way you can dance practice. You can from that you can do fun way you can follow. And if you are having the good with pet, you can just buy one pet, and then there are studies of pet therapy is there in market. Pet therapy is very booming, and it has a most important part. What is the benefit of pet therapy? One is it will increase that secretion of oxytocin, as I said. Oxytocin will be secreted in 2 occasions: when you play with your pet animals, and another one is when you hold someone you love. For example, your friend is very close friend, okay, or if your mother, when you touch your mother or your mother, if you do these things, there is a hormone called oxytocin will be secreted. It is an essential hormone for balancing your mood, balancing, or you can able to concentrate better. That is why they are asking pet therapy. That unconditional love we can get it from the pets. And practice mindfulness. As I said, there is one of the practice. As I said, there are many components that are connected with one another. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is nothing but doing one work at a time. I will give one exercise. Okay, just close your eyes. Close your eyes, and just observe your breathing. That inhale and exhale. Just observe. For 3 minutes, if you do these things, and there are many external inputs will come, and you have to try to cut those external inputs. Try to cut those external inputs. Concentrate only on one activity. That's called mindfulness. That is why your parents will say that when you are eating, don't use your mobile phone, because your mind will not be there in the food. And when you mindful eating, it is very important. When you have the mindful eating, you will connect it with that food, and then your body cells will be secrete. Okay, he's taking wholeheartedly, he's eating the food, and it will prepare, and then it will secrete the proper hormones. Okay. And here there are 9 more activities I'm going to tell you, which you can practice for positivity. One is, then you can, for example, if you have a problem, what you can do, stay away from the problem. There are many people, I can say, that voluntarily they will take a problem and then put it in their shoulders. Don't do that. And stay away from the problems. And when you don't know how to solve the problem, seek a professional help from your friends. And you can see there are focus on your goal. See, many people, they are having that diverting. For example, if you have more than one work at a time, I can say that, see, if it is a more work is there, focus only one at a time and finish, and then come back to the next one. If you take here and there, and then you cannot finish any kind of work at all in your life. And think about the solutions rather than the problem. So many of us, what we will do, we will focus on the only problem. We never think about that solution. That is why in most of the positive affirmation, you can find out, just concentrate what is the possible solution is there for this particular problem. See, I'm facing this problem, and if I'm not getting it, where I can get the problem, you can think that is also a solution. See, if I ask Sudarshan, and my brother, he may be having experience in the field. So how I can handle those people in the field, and he will give some inputs for me. So these things you have to understand, and you have to get help from somebody else. That's also a solution. And seek encouragement from the positive people. That is a very important thing. Look into your family surroundings. There are certain people are what they will do. If you say that I'm having fever, oh, you have a fever, definitely it will be corona. In 3 to 4 days you will die. So these kind of people surrounding there, just skip them. Never ever surround them. If you have such a people, definitely they will ruin your life. They are pessimistic, and they will not helpful for you. And some people, you can say that they are very close to them. You feel more comfort. You feel more comfort when they are surrounding you, and you feel that I think more happy with them. Find out those kind of people. I can say that there is a butterfly in your stomach. When somebody is close to you, there is a butterfly in your heart or stomach, and you can feel that you are feeling more comfort. So find out those kind of people, and you feel more comfort with it, more happy with such a people. And count your blessings. As I said, there are many good things are in our day-to-day life. We will say that I'm not having money for buying my laptop. Say, don't say that. Just count what is the blessings, and then go to that. When you, that is why when Subhasri Madam was presenting, she said that when you concentrate on negative components, you will not focus on positive. So what you can do, you just pull that negative thing and then concentrate only on positive. Okay, this is the one way we can do that. Count your blessings. And another one is, yes, the problem is there in our life. Definitely it will pass on it. It is on day is there, night definitely will come. If you feel that day is on problem, night definitely will come. Solution will come. Better you feel that. And strengthen your mind. What you can do that for practicing yoga, meditations, mindfulness breathing, mindfulness exercise you can do in your life. And another one is focus on personal growth. Very important thing. If you have that skill in your life, definitely that you feel that more confident. That confidence will boost your better health. Okay, that's why wherever learning, for example, in webinar, even as of now, I have given speeches to many colleges, but wherever the webinar, I feel that it is more close to my heart. I feel that I want to explore more, then I will attend that. Okay, I enroll myself. Even Dr. Subhasri and myself, we attended many programs before launching ours. I hope you may aware about it. We had an initiative. I took an initiative when that lockdown was announced. I approached some of the experts in the field. I'm having an idea to promote mental health and well-being. They said that they consented, they agreed, and then they given talk to me. Okay. And now we reached around 110th webinar we are going to reach, and we plan to have 365 days. So focus only one component and then present at it. And keep positive attitude all the time. Very important. As I said, when you have the negative, for example, all the negatives are there in my pocket. I cannot put positive in it. What you can do, just remove it and put all the positive, and you are not having the space for the negative attitude. So this is the way you can practice it. And the next one is important topic, resilience. Dear moderator, please let me know. Can I continue? Hello? Uh, yes. Sudarshan, are you there? Hello? Florence? Anybody is there? Can you unlock, just unmute yourself? Just say hi. I don't know. I'm not speaking myself. Am I there with you? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, I'm not listening any voice or any comment. That's why I thought that I'm speaking to myself. Thank you. So can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So another mental health practice is on resilience. So what is the resilience? When you go to that definition, there are a number of definitions. Here I given that extract of all the definitions. Flexibility into planning. Flexibility in your planning. And another one is withstanding the shock. There is a, for example, sudden accident or a sudden death of any incident in your family. Then you can withstand from that and adapt to change. Yes, adjustment behavior you have to develop and pursue your goal. Okay, anticipate risk. Yes, you have to expect that there will be a problem in your active day-to-day life and protect yourself from the problem. So this is called resilience. And generally, when you Google it, there is one definition will come there that is called bouncing back to the normalcy. Yes, we human being definitely will face a problem in our life. If a person say, I never had a problem, that means the person is lying to you. Yes, we will have that. How we can come out from that problem is called resilience. The resilience is nothing but coming back to the normalcy. So these are the qualities of the resilience. The flexible in your planning and withstand the shocks and adapt to change and pursue your goal. And you have to concentrate on the particular goal. As I said, you may have the number of goals. One, you just complete and go to the next one. And if you go concentrate on 5 goals at a time, definitely you will never reach one goal at a time in your life. And another one is risk inhibitor. You have to anticipate and protect yourself from the problems. And here, why resilience is important for me as well as you. Very one thing, and you can see that commits to goals. They are looking only that what they are working on. If I am a student, I will focus on only my studies. If I am a worker, I am focused on my work. Focus what they can control. There are many resilient people. They may not control on what are the area they cannot be able to control. They focus only what are the area they have a control over on it. Yes, these are the area I can modify. These are the area I can improve. And they never blame anybody. They blame them. They as I said, they use the positive words. Resilient people, they use the positive words. They are more empathetic in nature. They are more empathetic in nature. They think positive. They think more positive. And they see change, challenges in everywhere. Yes, challenge is very, very important for our growth. So that is why resilient people, they will have the important quality of these things and they will practice in their day-to-day life. And you can see that the domains of resilience. Extremely sorry, my son is there. What am I in the domains of resilience. As I said, when we're discussing about mental health, so these things are discussed. So when you say the resilience, you can see that physical flexibility, and some of the people, they may not say, I'm not able to bedding down. That means you are not a resilient person. That's why you have to do stretching exercises or practicing in day-to-day life. And endurance means stamina and strength you have to develop. This is if you have these things, then you can say that you are resilient. And another one is an emotional components, emotionally flexible, and it's to moderate, positive outlook, smile. See, some of the person, when you look into the face, you feel more something panic. See, I think one of my friend you say, I don't know how to smile. What you can do, take a pen. Okay, take a pen, just bite, and you feel more comfort, you feel happy. So you can practice. And another one is self-regulations. Many people, they surrounding them, they say that not having self-regulation at all. Self-regulation is another quality. And another one is, you can see that mental flexibility. Mental flexibility means you have to be plasticity, attention span. The studies are saying that due to technological advancement in our society, the attention span is coming down for human being. We are not having the attention at all. We are sitting here and there. Okay, and the ability to focus we have to develop, and incorporate multiple points of view, where you are focusing and why it is important, how we can connect in that all reasons we have to understand that component. As you said, when you are very good in that mental health, you can able to make the better decisions, and you can be spiritual flexibility. Yes, and commitment to values. Spirituality is not a religion. We have to understand that. Beyond that, spirituality is nothing but understanding yourself, how to keep calm, how to be purposeful to somebody else, how to useful to somebody in the society. That is the thing, spirituality. And values and belief system, it will imbibe. It is important. These are the domains of resilience. You have to concentrate on that. You have to nurture these things, and then you can claim that you are resilient. If you don't do the exercises, the physical resilience will not be there. If you fell down, you cannot able to get down from that place. So when you want to come back to the normalcy, so you have to do regular practices of these 4 dimensions. Then you can, the coherence must be there. Then you can claim that you are a resilient person. And what are the 3 key attributes of become a resilient? One is self-aware. You know about your strength and weakness. First, you know that what your strength, what your weakness. And I will give my personal experience. So it was the year, I think 2009. I was applied one of the famous university in Tamil Nadu. It is a private university, well-known university. They asked me to write about your strength and weakness. I wrote 2-3 points about my strength. I wrote all my weaknesses. It goes more than 2 pages. And when I given that point to them, they said that we rejected only because of these things. So I don't know what are my strengths, because I know my weaknesses. The people around me, they pointing out these were the mistakes. So I'm having a lot of inputs about my weakness rather than my positivity or strength. And one more thing, I come to know that later only. In the if they're asking your weaknesses, what you have to write? You have to write your positivity as a negative. For example, I will not say no. See, it is a positive trait, but in the weakness, I have to write. So these things I come to know very later stage. But I think many of your learners are here. Hereafter, anybody asks you to write about your weakness, write your strengths and weakness in your profile. Okay. And another one is acceptance. Reality is very, very important. Society will be there. Even though we are having the positive component, we have to accept the reality. Accept yourself as it is. For example, I will give one example. You may have one of your close friends. And what we expect that your expectation they may not fulfill because they are another human being. They may have another expectation. And we have to accept, yes, they will be there. Like that only be there. You have to accept those things. And survivors.
Sorry for the sudden absence. Sir will join in a few minutes. Sir is having some technical issues. He will be joining in a few minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, my son switched off my internet connection. He asked me to. Extremely sorry for that.
No problem, sir.
Yeah, I think this is a point, last one, I discussed with you all. Suppose, can you unmute yourself? Can you update me? This is a point I was discussed with you all. Okay, so I will go to the next point here. What are the 5 simple reasons why resilience is important? Uh, Resilience, I think, when you take into the important trait we have to develop, nurture ourselves. When you take into the WHO, World Health Organization, they given the list of 4 skills we have to develop, but they were not mentioned resilience. But I can say is one of the important skills we have to nurture, we have to develop these skills in every individual. And the reason is one is Hello. Yeah. Hello. Uh, Host, can you please confirm me whether I'm inside or outside? Can you able to listen me? There is a fluctuation is showing that in my computer. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think you can able to hear me. I will continue. Why resilience is important? In our day-to-day life, we are facing stress, so we can able to manage the stress effectively. And another one is we can focus. If you claim that your mental health is good, you have to think cognitive component, the concentration. You can able to focus any kind of activity. When we focus, when we involve, for example, I can give one example. When we study, when we read something, if we are not focused about that subject, we cannot able to read the subject. We cannot get the point what is there, even in the newspaper also. And socially interactive. The resilient people are more interactive. From that interaction, they will learn the different skills to cope the new problem they are going to face. Definitely, they will help them and analog the strategy what they are having. For example, I may have some strategy that may be helpful for other occasions. The problem may be different, but it isn't similar to that problem. I'll give one example, COVID-19. Many of us be thinking that the COVID-19 isn't similar in all the world. No. In India, we are having I-13I. COVID-19 is a muted one. It is not spread across other countries. It is different one. And one more thing, and it improves well-being. Yes, resilient people are very good in their wellness, both physical, mental, and all the components, and they achieve their goal. They are more stubborn and endurance will be there, and then they will reach their goal. At any cost, I will reach my person. Okay. And 9, what are the ways we can more resilient? One is accept the change. Yes, surrounding in our everyday life, some situation you have to change. Yes, you have to change yourself. And many people, we are thinking that we can change others. Never ever try that. Even if you are not able to change yourself, how you can able to change others? Very important. Accept the change and take charge for activities what you have done. If you have done any mistake, you have to accept that yes, it is because of me. Now, if it is a good thing happened to me, it is only because of me. Don't blame for others or goddess or somebody else. And know your why. Why you are here. Find out that purpose in your life. Why I am here? I'm here because of this task. I have to complete it. And next one is be healthy. Yes, do exercises, eat nutritious food in your life. Be realistic. Be realistic. Even when we are having that optimistic mindset, we have to be very close to the realistic component. And don't go to the pessimistic. Go to the in between, you have to be there above realistic and then close to that positivity. And balance the key. Yes, we may have that dual role. For example, you can say that they are working women means they are having 3 roles they have to play. In the family, they have to take care of the family members. In office, they have to, and socially, they have to interact. There are many roles they have to play. It is a very hectic for them. And your role, you have to just find out that how we can be more effective, more successful in your role we can play. And ensure the relationship. And if you have the better relationship, you are more resilient than anybody else. As studies prove that resolve conflicts. And some of my friends, they are seeking professional help for the relationship issue. I will tell them, for example, why you are having the conflict. Conflict is because of misunderstanding. When you say that during that time, I mean these things. When you convey these messages, definitely you can resolve your conflict and reflect. Reflect means self-analyze yourself, whether the strategy which I was taken is more effective or not. If not, what I can do. So these are the things you can practice in your day-to-day life to improve your resilience in your thing. The next important practice to improve our mental is an optimism. So here there is an happily. I think hereafter some of you may aware about it. If you are not aware about it, you go to the Happily website. They're having amazing infographics. You can get into that. You can able to develop. See the post, negative posts, positive posts. And here, if you are optimistic, what is the benefit? It is the negative people increase the risk of death. If you are a negative person, will increase your, if you are a pessimistic, it will increase your death. I given one of the study. Those were, when they are asked to write their life experiences during that rigorous practice, they given those who written positive about the particular day, they had a very good experience, they were alive after 30 years. And those who wrote negative in their life experiences, the most of them were not alive. And even if they were alive, then they given that hurt other members. And you can see that a peak inside the brain. You are optimistic, and you will not give. You will filter that negative. It will not allow that negative. Okay, they will take it. They will not allow the negative components, and they will put it. Nowadays, when you ask here and when you move anywhere else, and they only about Corona news, and most of the news were fake. And we have to reliable sources only have to go there, and then you have to understand. And you can see positive people, they are heart. When you check the optimistic people, they are having more heart rate. The functions will be more, and they are very good in that. They are away from that stroke and then heart attack. They are optimistic. We are pessimistic. You are voluntarily involving that heart attack. And positive germ fighter. I said, virus you cannot kill with any kind of vaccines. The only way you can fight with the virus as of now, it may be any virus, it may be acute HIV or Nipah virus or any kind of virus. The only way you can develop your immune system. If you are optimistic, in person, optimistic in thinking, and it will boost your immune system. See, already if you take the healthy, you can fight with that immune viruses. So be positive, be optimistic in nature. And one more thing, when you look into that researcher, I said they are having that optimistic in outlook, and then their health system were improved, and the visit to the health facilities are decreased. Their health is improved. And for example, you can find out that different exercises you can practice to improve your optimism. It is there and online. Even nowadays, most of the time you are spending online internet. Use purposefully. Instead of going to searching something under entertainment, go to that nurturing the skills or developing the skills, and find out the person who can able to be more optimistic. When you talk with somebody, you feel more optimistic. Find those person, make a call to them, and enjoy the life in your life. Find out, relax yourself, okay? And connect with your person who are giving most positivity in your life. There are many people are there. Just find out, make a connections. And even here you can see disabled people, differently able to people. They are optimistic in outlook. They are having a better interaction. They are connection with the society. And say they, for example, optimistic people say that rightly. This is the point I want to say. So these things you can able to hear, and they will help other people. Okay, and I'll touch up my presentation and how you can practice it. Act as if. It is one of the intervention strategy given by Adler. See, if not happen, what will happen? If you ever put on if questions, you can able to answer that. And visualize your good things. Everything is never visualize the negative component, visualize the positive components in your life. Okay. And I'm getting chance. Yes, definitely. Within few slides, I will wind up here. So, being optimistic that improves your mental health. There is no thing in that. So, yeah. I think I can stop my presentation here. A pessimistic see difficulty in every opportunity, but an optimistic people see that opportunities in every difficulty. It is said by the Winston Churchill. With that quote, I will end my presentation. I record my sincere thanks to Madras Christian College and the coordinator, Mr. Sudarshan, other team members, and the listeners over here for patiently listening my presentation. And thank you so much for the great platform to share my knowledge and learnings during these 1.5 hours. Thank you so much. Thank you for the great help. Thank you. Yes, Sudarshan.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have three questions. We have four questions. So the first one is, what are the ways to a good healthy mind?
Health?
What are the ways to a good healthy mind?
Yes, I think it is as I said, if I have a negative thinking in my mind, I cannot put positive thinking in it. What you can do? Try to find out, replace the negative into positive. Positive, for example. I will give one example. You see that the corona will affect you. And instead of that, you can say that it will not affect me. I can make another strategy. I can prevent you in nature, and because I'm positive, it not come to me. So this is the way you can make a positive statement instead of negative components. And another one is loneliness is an playground for devils. Loneliness, if you are lonely, if you are not connected with anybody else, during that time only there are more negative thoughts will flow in our mind. What you can do, you can engage in some activities. That is one way you can make your positive mindset, or else find that person who is giving that positivity among you, find that person and then surround them. Definitely you can feel more positive mind in your life. I hope this will help you. There are many strategies are there. Yes, next question.
Can you? Yes.
Yeah.
So the next question is resilience intrinsic or extrinsic?
Resilience is definitely intrinsic. Definitely intrinsic. But when you surround another resilient person, role modeling will help us. I can say that 70% is internal, 30% you can take it from others. Yeah.
Are mental health professionals considered as essential workers in the pandemic?
Definitely. See, there are many psychologists, mental health professionals, social workers, psychiatric social workers are in the field. They see prevention is better than cure. So what we are doing, instead of allowing to develop that mental health problem in a bigger one, we are helping them to prevent those mental health problems. We are addressing in the beginning itself. You can claim as your essential workers. Definitely, you can claim that you are essential worker. And I can see there are many calls recorded during this pandemic crisis. There are many calls were addressed even by me. There are many of my colleagues are there. They are having 24 into 7. They are one person I can name it, Mr. Ilayaraja. Even receiving a call from 12 countries and he is addressing that. Yes. Can I go to the last one?
How do you improve physical and psychological? How does physical and okay, I don't understand this question.
So
How
what?
do improves physical and psychological improve
Yeah,
health?
well-being. Okay.
Okay.
So I given that there are many practices are there. Many practices are there. What is that the first practice you have to take gratitude. Gratitude than the person who's surrounding you. If you miss somebody else, just remember, recollect, and then make a call to them or write a letter to them. That is the one way. And the another one is develop positive attitude, positive mindset. The next one is be kind to anybody close to you. Develop a resilient skills. Be optimistic. So these are the skills you can nurture within you. And then if you develop these things, and definitely you feel more comfort in your physical health as well as mental health. Because these two are directly proportional to each other. If you are healthy, your mental health will be good. That's why Plato said, what is the educated person? Education is creation of sound mind and sound body. Sound mind and sound body. So it is interconnected to one another. Practice these strategies will help you to become more positive in your day-to-day life. I hope these answers will help you. Yes.
So the last question is how to not get demotivated. So,
As I said, no, away from those kind of people. So why we are getting demotivated? There are people who are point out, we Indians and most of the people, they are very good in that finding the mistakes of others. And there are some people, as I said, 99.99% there are good qualities are there. Here, after what we can try to find the person who is doing the self, they are appreciating your good quality. Then they have to appreciate what they have done. Then if they find out your mistake, you can surround those kind of people. That is the only way you can come out from the demotivation. Otherwise, you know your qualities. You know you have to fix your goal and your life purpose. If you work on that, definitely you can self-motivate yourself. Many of us, we believe that motivation is external. No. The most powerful motivation is an internal. If it is an internal, you are self-regulated, internally motivated, but the external motivation never make you as a demotivated. Develop your internal intrinsic motivation. Self-appreciate yourself. So that's the way you can do that. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I request my friend Mr. Kumaran to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all who present here. It's my honor and privilege to extend my gratitude towards the respective personalities on this wonderful occasion. First of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving strength and look after every work being well. Then I thank our Department of Social Work 8 stream of Madras Christian College for giving us an opportunity to exhibit and experience ourselves on organizing webinars. I thank each and every faculty for that. Next, I thank the distinguished resource persons. Today, God bless us with two speakers, which was unexpected. Dr. Subhashri from Madras School of Social Work, Chennai, and Dr. M. Suresh Kumar from the American College of Madurai for their wonderful sharing of knowledge for our development and enhancement. Then the organizing team, those who worked day and night for this webinar. Last but not the least, our mighty participants. Without you, we wouldn't be able to accomplish this thing. Keep supporting us and also do take part in this upcoming webinars organizing under the banner of Jonathan Callagan Lecture Series. We love MCC. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank my sincere thanks to the team members and coordinator Dr. Sudarshan for a great opportunity. Thank you so much at the MCC for that. Even the technical problems given the opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for participating, dear students and teachers from other institutions. So, tomorrow at 4 p.m., we have a webinar on the impact of COVID on PVTG, that is social work response. So, the registration link will be put up in the chat box. Kindly fill in the feedback form, which also will be in the chat box, after which you will get the certificate. Thank you so much.
Yes, I will share my Google link and share to all the participants, all the mental health participants.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.